Good morning, and a beautiful morning it is. It is like 64 degrees out. The windows are open in the house. Everything is covered in moisture. Tons of dew. Everything is just soaking wet right now. But yesterday we went for a cruise on the side-by-side. The entire family, we all jumped in the side-by-side, went for a trail ride, and yeah, it was kind of a nightmare. We have so much overgrowth. Now that summer is in full swing, everything is growing, the leaves and everything's starting to pull down and get closer and closer to the woods floor. And so taking a trail ride kind of sucks because the branches are all just dangling so low. All the grass, all the plants. Wow, what is going on with that light? Gonna rave up in this place. But yeah, all the weeds they're growing up, and then now everything's starting to get so tall that they're starting to tip over into the trail. So as you're driving past, they're hitting you on the sides, and it's just not a whole lot of fun. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna go do chores, and we're gonna run down into the woods on my trails. We're gonna see if we can do a little bit of cleanup, clearing, because I know the kids just love getting out there on the side-by-sides and the walks, and it's just getting to be so crowded with the vegetation and everything. So I've already got some of the tools I need. I have some clippers, some little saws. We've been doing a bunch of trimming around the house, but I just installed on my weed whacker this thing. I've used this thing one time. It's basically just a giant like saw blade, and it is very good for taking out some of them small saplings and some of that overgrown weeds that are like an inch thick. So we're gonna give that a whirl. I was hoping I wouldn't have to run the chainsaw, but I know there is a small down, it's either a branch or a tree that's like right on the trail. And what I think I'm gonna do too is I'm gonna hook the trailer up. We're gonna take that with us. That way, whatever I do cut up, that's not just like a weed. And the weeds I'll just chuck farther into the weeds. But if there's any substantial like branches or things, I might try to load it on here, and then we'll pull this through the woods. And then when we're done, I just unload it into one of the habitat piles. And this is our first hurdle already. I put up the chicken fence and the goat fence in the woods right along the edge of the trails. And so it kind of cuts into the trails a little bit. So we got some of the stuff leaning, but those are some small branches that are hanging down low, and you just can't quite get in there. So we're gonna go ahead, take care of our goat chores and chicken chores this morning. Honestly, the chicken chores have gotten way easier now that we have moved them into the woods. I'm not having to worry so much about everything. But yeah, feels like plenty of water, plenty of food. I haven't even pulled their coop forward yet, so this will be the first time I actually pull it forward a bit. Chicken's done, but yeah, look at that. That's a ducker, all this. And this root ball sticking out here really pushes the fence out. You guys hungry? You want some grub? They got big goats. Looks like our fence repairs holding together nicely. Could have done a little, that one should have been a little bit longer, a little bit of extra, but it's holding together and keeping the goats in. So my plan is just to work my way from here, that direction. So I'm just gonna chip away at it. I'm gonna grab the clippers. We're just gonna take care of some of these little things. I'm not going to take a huge amount out that's not needed. I'm really just trying to clear a path through the trails. I'm just trying to get the branches that are over the trails and dangling on the top out of here, just enough to gain access. I think just to keep this simple, I'm gonna unhook the trailer. I'm not gonna worry about trying to load a bunch of this stuff up. A lot of those little limbs, I'm gonna be able to just toss right into the deep stuff, and I'll worry about that another day or never, because that's the stuff that we don't ever touch. And that way I can just get rid of this very fast. Okay, so we got most of the branches cleared out to the end of the chicken run and the goat run. So I'm just gonna do this in a nice quick path. I'm gonna see if this thing can actually just clear some of this crap out of here. That looks dangerous. Hey look, gloves, eye protection, and ear protection today. You'll all be so proud. Wow. I have to say that actually worked a little bit better than I thought it would. I mean, it took down, we've gained another 3 feet of just clearing, and I can leave this here. So as I run my mower along this, it's just gonna mulch all that up and drop it, and that's gonna break up nice and easy. The hardest part was just figuring out where to come in at the cut, because these super thin ones, if I was too high, they were just kind of vibrating and they weren't getting hit very good. So if I got lower to the base where it was in the ground, a little more stable, it would just cut right through it. And once I could figure out back and forth, and it got that right momentum, I was able to just kind of chip away at it back and forth. And then we had, look at this nasty stuff. All those vines, thorns, I was able to cut that right off, all that. We got a path all the way down there now. Okay, I think I'm gonna grab the wheeler quick and we're gonna go pull it down here and we're gonna carry on down the trail. Oh my gosh, this is so much nicer having this much space to drive through. Once I mow all this up, it's gonna be so clean. So as I look, it's a lot of just brush on the side. There's a few limbs up high there, but mostly it's just the trail itself. So I'm gonna be able to come in here with that blade. Like right here, that is, we got about 1.5 feet. but all this is kind of just dangling over the trails. I'll be able to clear that up with that weed eater and blade setup. And really all this, there's almost no branches that are actually dangling right here. A lot of it's just at the beginning point. That is where we had most of the tornado and storm damages. A few small ones down that way, but again, it's pretty clear. So I think I'm just gonna grab that weed whacker and we're gonna have at it. So another reason I left the trailer behind too is because the amount of poison ivy that's out here and all this small brush and stuff kind of getting all intermixed with itself. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time picking up a lot of brush and risk poison ivy. So I'm going to let a lot of that small stuff lay, like I said, and any of the thicker branches that really I don't want to have get hit by the mower, I'll pluck those out and we'll chuck those a little bit farther. But yeah, we're going to just have at this really quick. So I just got done. I went all the way around that tree, clear around the trail goes, and then I cut through this trail, and then I went back here along this fence and cleared out anything all the way along there too. And then I got to thinking, because as I was cutting those up and thinking that normally that is what the goats eat when it's inside their fences, but these are the nuisance ones that'll probably be needed taken down before I even get a fence up to it anyway, because they're already leaning into the trail, so they'd be leaning into the fence and they would be shorting the fence out and it just wouldn't work. But now we have this entire row of down yummy goodness. I can now bring the tractor back here again because it's wide enough, and I can use my grapple and I can back drag all that and pull it, and pick it up, and I can just dump it right over to the other side for the goats to enjoy. But I mean, we already made it to my first habitat pile and around this trail. So I mean, we're looking really good. We don't got too much more down that way to go. And as I was tearing all that down, it exposed a few more things that need to be cut. There's actually like a little sapling, like one of those weed saplings. It's about 3/4, maybe an inch in diameter, and that's just a little much for that blade to take care of. So I'm gonna take that off, clear at the base here. There we go. I came down this. There's a few of these small branches. This tree is like almost dead. Probably fall over in the next couple of years, but there still has some green stuff growing on it. I don't know. It's just one of those, like, it's not totally in the way yet, so I like to just leave it. I hate tearing down a tree that's still green or somewhat green, unless it's like truly in my way. Well, I've officially made it to this point. This is the goat's tree, the goat's favorite tree for climbing on. So we've made it pretty much to the end of what I would call our woods pastures. Everything this direction is all what I'm going to be dedicating towards animals and stuff, but I still have trails that running that way. Obviously this is completely blocked off. But this way is, again, it's pretty darn clear. I've got a couple limbs hanging from about here, but there's not much except for a bunch of cobwebs. There's spiders are out like crazy. Not much on the sides here. There'll be a little bit of trimming, but it's pretty much a straight shot. It looks like there's the tree. So I'm gonna go ahead and tear this up quick, get these limbs out of the way, and we're gonna go hit up that tree branch that fell right in the center of the trail. Well, we officially made it to the down branch. There's actually two branches. Pretty good size too. I thought I was gonna be able to just like pull them off to the side and not worry about them, but they're a little bit too big, so I think we're gonna have to chip away at them. I don't think my plan is going to be to take them anywhere. I think I'm just gonna try to maybe limb off the tops, get this, toss it over here, the bigger stuff down there, push over there. And then it is slowly falling. I can guarantee it's starting to fall down because all the branches that are coming from that were into that trail. So I had to trim with the hand trimmer around that trail. But that thing is slowly falling, pushing on these other trees. So here pretty soon, either I wait for that tree to just fall completely and take down some other stuff, or I might just come out here with a chainsaw sometime and take some of the big limbs off the bottom and see if I can like drop it piece by piece and then basically just take out that big chunk from there to there, get that out of there, and then at least it opens up the trail. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see how much more nature does to it and see if it keeps falling or if it's gonna be stuck, because it is up against a pretty big tree back there. So it might not fall too much more. I think it might just be kind of wedged up in there. So we'll find out. So this is actually just about the same spot where I had the last tree limb fall, and I came up here with the tractor, so I know the tractor can get back here, and my habitat pile is just right there. But I am not going to be dragging all this today over there when I have a tractor at home. So I'm just gonna basically take all the small scrap here, and I'm just gonna make a pile right here on the corner. I got this couple big logs I left fairly long. I'm just gonna roll those off right into the tall grass, and we will come back another day and take care of that with the tractor. Try to save my energy. Work smarter, not harder. There we go, and holy burrs, from top to bottom, I am covered, but we did complete it. We have finished clearing the entire trail loop on the bottom side of the ravine and all the little cut throughs. All the debris from above our heads is now gone. All the weeds that were dangling over have been trimmed back. I just have to come back through here with a mower and do a little bit of mowing and mulch all that up. And we are good to go. We're gonna call today's video good. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you all next time. Later.